There we go. So all my uploads are in I'm totally off schedule because my gym's computer, the Wi-Fi at my gym is bugging out, and that's no, don't worry about it. But before this lift is happening today, yesterday was a complete rest day. All the way, no cardio, no gym, no nothing. So whether or not I posted that, because I had, who even knows, but I could feel, all right, tie in the week trip down to Florida to check out the Raw headquarters, do that Vitamin Chop meet and greet, fly back, still hitting my hour cardio on a couple of those days, 45 minutes of Stairmaster. I was bringing it. So yesterday morning, there's a feeling of legitimate fatigue, which should induce a legitimate need for a rest day. And that's what I want. I want to actually need it. If I'm going to take it, I want to actually need it. So I almost didn't even do it and just hit back yesterday anyway, because I kept watching a bunch of Mike Tyson edits, and they were getting me amped. I think it was just getting me fired up to jump on the bike or start doing jump rope. I can skip rope pretty good. I get that one individual. I'll get a video of it sometime. I know what I'm doing, at least a little. But no, I think a full day's rest, I think that's doing me good. So now I'm coming back this morning, fresh. I'm talking, holy crap, I got so much sleep. I think it was a little bit of sleep debt as well. But I mean, I was out yesterday. It was like full night's rest, wake up, eat half a pound of turkey with some barbecue sauce or some buffalo sauce, back to bed, post-sleep nap, wake up, do the day, literally get into bed at 6. In bed at 6 o'clock. I got up at 10 to go up and eat something, and then just back to sleep. So if my overall fatigue markers were up here, now I think we're back down to here. And some may argue, well, you should, and this makes a lot of sense. You shouldn't get to a point of overreaching with your training, especially if you're dieting. Like, you should preemptively have a rest day in place to prevent that situation from even occurring, right? But that's hard for me to wrap my head around, because why am I, the only time I'll know if I've overdone it, the only time I'll know if, maybe that 45-minute Stairmaster and then hour and a half on the bike the next day was too much, was if I can feel it, and then I'll act accordingly, right? So it's like you're driving and there's no speedometer, there's no, there's a speed limit, but you got no speedometer. You're not going to know if you're going too quick until you get pulled over. But should that mean you should go snail's pace the entire time? Well, hell no, right? So I want to ride that line. And when people say ride the line, usually that's like a negative sort of approach. Like, that's taken as a negative. It's like, hey man, you're redlining, you're cutting it close. But I don't think that's the case, right? Because if I can handle this, that's what I want to do. I want to be right here, hovering around this. I can handle this level of consistency, intensity, repetition, whatever, everything that goes along with the training. If I can handle this, I want to be right up around here. And you're not screwed if you go over, because if you do, all that tells you is, all right, I should pull back a little bit. The guy who goes too far and then realizes where the line really is has a much, maybe not deeper understanding, but he can at least value and have a gauge of how hard to really go. Because the guy who never gets close to the line, the guy who never even pushes it at all, well, shit, man. How much more progress could he have made? How much cooler could he be as a dude just from the benefits of what training gives you in terms of, having a consistent thing that you get better at? Honestly, I think the gym is a confidence builder, pretty substantial, over, year to year. So if you're always, cooking at 2,000 RPM, when you can handle 7, maybe you can handle 7.5, well, I guess that's up to you. I guess that's your deal. But even me, on occasion, will throw a rest day in. So, plan for this lift? I don't know. I haven't hit back at Los yet. All I know is it's fucking cool. So I didn't really like when I came in here for arms and I came in here for legs, and on both days the only equipment that was getting my attention was the arm equipment and the leg equipment. I wasn't looking at anywhere else. I guess I didn't really think about that in the moment, but yeah, like if you ask me where any of the back stuff is, I got no freaking idea. But now that back is on my mind, I think I'll be able to come up with a plan pretty quickly. And since there's going to be a bunch of new equipment that I haven't used before, this may be a slightly higher volume back day than normal, purely for the sake of kind of getting to try other stuff out. But I think nothing else to get into there. Let's just make this lift happen. This will be a good start. Not too heavy, not too light. Somewhere in the middle, just right. Okay. One more at least. Same everything. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's hit a row now. Hui. Oh, one more.
Ooh. That's enough of that. Let's pick something else. Holy shit. Yeah, doing some rest pause like that, badass. Such an easy intensifier too. Literally just get your breath and do a few more. One more, well, 2 more rows, but 1 more movement. And after those seated rows, plus that machine, which is a good mix. It's like half lats, half mid-back. Yeah, I'll be able to just completely shift gears and think lats after these 2. And I might actually go a little bit lighter. This is, you know, you tell me. I think this logic is sound. The closer you are to the end of the lift, sometimes you're gonna get more out of less weight because you can actually still really squeeze it. When you're fresh, you can squeeze heavy weight. But at the end of a bicep day, I'm not curling the 70s. No fucking chance. I'm doing like, you know, maybe some cable preachers or something and really holding it. So that's right here, half the stack. Right after I pick a different song. All right, come on. Come on here. It's tricky with rubber handles sometimes. Oh, there we go. Perfect. No more. Okay. One more. Holy crap. All right, let's bring this one with the stack. Relatively nasty. Not gross, but let's get a little nasty with this one. Come on. There we go. Come on. Okay. Oh, one more. Oof. Okay. Not done. Okay. It's been a while since I've hit a good pullover, especially plate loaded. Maybe not ever. Only 2 plates. If you've ever used this machine, then you'll really know how heavy this feels. Yeah, man. There we go. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. One more of those. This is more of a squeezing movement. So honestly, I probably want to do this earlier in the workout, but the stretch is crazy. Rip it again. Yeah. Boy. Now let's move on. This machine will be good. All right. Okay. Holy shit, I gotta do 2 plates. Make this a drop set. There we go. Two. Okay. Holy shit. One more. Two. 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 guy. Oh, yeah, that's all. Let's pose down. All right, the microphone is very near dead. So if audio cuts out before we're done posing, actually I'll just switch to the camera's internal microphone. We're all good. But yeah, that was a big old back day. So what, 6 sets for rows, 6 sets for pull downs? Hey man, that's about right for me. Plus, after a full day of rest, I mean, shit. Let's just say I don't feel like I overdid it. But yeah, how about we stop talking about it and actually just get a little visual. So this is cool. Yeah, I can actually fucking see my own reflection. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now we're golden. Oh, yeah, that's good. Feeling dry and feeling pumped, which is pretty much exactly how I want to feel. All right, one more from the back. I just can't even help myself here. Try to pull these up a little. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So, I've got some cardio to finish, and I will see you in the car. All right. I think I'm doing too much cardio, which is, hey, that's a good problem for me to have. Hell yeah. But yeah, I think today I just ripped 53 minutes on the Stairmaster. Now the logic was not, I think 53 minutes is going to be the most efficient, effective. The logic was, I don't know if I could do an hour. So it's more of a little in my head challenge of like, man, you know, pardon my language, but man, fuck that shit. Give me an hour. I know nobody else is doing it. That was really the motivation. And then I get 30 minutes in, the timer stops, I had to reset it. Another 23 minutes. Oh, I gotta get off this thing. So that's my new Stairmaster PR, 53 minutes. But yeah, I think that would add to the intensity of the training enough that it made me warrant that last rest day. I think I gotta go back to the bike. Let's tune it back down to the bike again. But that is a good fucking feeling for me to have right now. You know, yeah, make sure the mic is actually working. But yeah, to have known that I think I did too much, and to now pull back a little bit and say, all right, that might be I might be going a little too hard. Let me pull it back to where it's just that good sweet spot. You know, a preemptive assumption that you're going too hard is just total BS, in my opinion, right? To assume that you're pushing yourself harder than you can handle, to assume that you're doing too much, I feel is, I mean, it's just an instinct of self-preservation, and in a way, I'm not trying to say this in like a mean way, but in a way, taking action from a perspective of weakness, you know? Now, I don't really mean it like that. We're talking about the Stairmaster. This is like a creature comfort. Like we're putting ourselves in an uncomfortable position just for the fun of it, you know? So obviously it's not that deep, but in a way it kind of is.
if you really care about it, you know. So it's obviously it's an interesting thing to get into. But for me, walking up to the Stairmaster, man, I know nobody else is doing this shit. Let's bring it. That gives me a badass feeling. That makes me feel tough and cool, and you know, just makes me feel like I'm bringing it as much as I want it. A lot of people want it. A lot of people want it. I bet there are people out there that want it more than me. There's people that want gains and they want progress. You know, if you could somehow quantify that want into a score or into a value, there's got to be tons of people that want it more than me. Here's the problem. Those same people who may want it twice as bad as me aren't willing to do half the amount of effort that I'm willing to. They might not be willing to do a tenth, right? I mean, there's guys who, there's people out there where I've done more cardio than they've been in the gym total at all. I think maybe within the last year. When it comes to lifters, cardio metrics, obviously I don't think I've done as much cardio as like a dedicated long distance runner. They probably have me beat. But in the scope of just guys who go to the gym and do their cardio, let's say for the purpose of bodybuilding, in terms of hours clocked of cardio over the past, let's say over the past year, so that actually includes like basically a prep and a half plus my normal cardio, I've got to be top 0.1%. I got to be right up in there in that top percentile of hours clocked. And for me, that just feels cool. For me, that gives me a good feeling. That motivates me to go even harder, right? So I guess you've got two options. You know, when you know you're doing something tricky for the purpose of a greater goal that you might have, right? How do you get yourself motivated to do it? How do you get yourself motivated to make that shit happen? And you know, actually, I don't want to say earn, but basically just reach the results and reach the levels of progress that you want. Well, it's kind of going to come down to how much you do, right? When it comes to gains in general, I am now in a position where it is not a belief. It is simply an observation that I am going to make progress and that I am going to keep hustling and that I'm going to manage to merge into this lane. Because this guy's being nice, thank you. But I no longer think, all right, I wonder if I'm going to get lean. I wonder if I'm going to get bigger in this off season. Ooh, I don't know. I wonder if I'm going to be able to do it happen, right? Like and there's a few levels of that. At first, there's an uncertainty. There is, all right, I don't know if I can do it, but you goddamn right, I'm going to try. And that's a belief. That's I believe in myself. I'm going to lock in. I'm going to make this shit happen. All right. But it hasn't happened yet. And maybe you haven't done it a few times to basically, you know, show your own track record, not even to anyone else, but just to yourself of kind of embodying this, I know I can do it. But now that I've done it for so long and I've had so much experience going back and forth, bulking up, making progress, getting stronger, maintaining to lift with intensity as I diet, even just be able to handle diets better, crank out a crap ton of cardio. The more I do it, the more it just proves to myself that I can do it. And at this point, it's kind of obvious. At this point, it is now no longer, all right, well, you know, here's my end goal of what I want to do over the next 6 months. Let's see if I can get close. That's not the question. That's not the fucking question. The question is almost, what do I even really want? And that will dictate where I go and how I do things. So right now, the want is I want to stay lean and feel lean like a beast for a little while longer. Because it's cool. And it is a good little break for me in terms of just overall, I don't want to say internal stress, but let's just use inflammation as a variable here, or as an outcome. When you're bulking up and you're eating a crap ton of food and you're really pushing your metabolism and grubbing, your metabolism or your net, you just kind of inflamed. You know, you get that puffy look. You're eating a bunch of food, but you are training super hard and you're making legitimate progress. You know, so it's kind of a give and take. But over the last few years, I've been bulked up for more than I have been dieted down. So right now I'm clocking some more hours dieted down. Half, it's probably good to, you know, not be bulked up all the time, but also just half because it's cool. just because it's cool. I'm like, man, I feel good coming in and seeing a big ass Christmas tree and lower back striations, and feeling pretty light on my feet. Even just doing the cardio, I'm watching those same Mike Tyson edits I was talking about yesterday that was getting me going on a rest day. Dude, I had some pep in my step for however many, actually I think 1,000 steps that I did. I don't know how many I got up. I don't know. It was at least a few. I was doing 60 steps a minute. So 60 times 53, 3,180. Were you quicker than me? Hell no, that was a quick one. So that many steps, and I had some pep in every single one of them because my phone was getting me going. But yeah, but since that's my goal, that's what I'm going to make happen. And I know all the variables that go into it, with my calories, with my cardio, with my training, with my recovery, with my hydration. And I know all those variables enough that, well, shit, I set the equation, and then I know the answer. I know the outcome, right? What's 1 + 1? Hell, you know that. 2, goddammit. What's a lifter plus cardio plus a calorie deficit plus intense consistent training plus a hype mindset? That's a dog. That is a dog right there. And we all already know that. He's got no choice but to be a dog if that's the equation that he's given himself, So I like to think about gains in a very deterministic way. Or that's not the right word, but I like to think about it like, okay, if I do what it takes, then I'm going to get where I want to go. Because to get lean, to lose 10 pounds, to gain 10 pounds, to gain strength, to gain size, to gain to get better cardio, we all know what it takes to do it. It's really not a question of mystery. This is not a guessing game. It's just a question of ability to take affirmative action and just make this shit happen, even when you're not feeling it. I've been seeing a lot of comments now, and I'm not sure if this is just a wave of them that like my phone is showing me, or if it's just maybe the vibe of this current moment in the year. But I've been seeing a lot of posts where it's essentially just I'm just not feeling it right now. Something's off, right? And sometimes you don't know what that something is. Hell, I get that feeling. Every time I've done a bodybuilding show, the second show of the 2 that I've done these past 2 years, it takes a minute to get back into your groove, So for me, at least, I'm like, okay, I just did this show. I just did this one thing that I've been working like the last few months to do. Now it's over. Sometimes it takes a minute to get back into the groove of like, all right, shit, well, I'm doing this shit for me. Let's get back on track. So you do get that feeling, that sort of fog. And if you're caught like that, let's just call it a lack of motivation, a temporary lack of motivation, but let's just call it that. Here's the last thing I want you to do is to slow down. The last thing that you should do is to take your foot off the gas of your routine and let yourself start taking steps backward. Because fast forward a month, fast forward a week, fast forward 2 months, it doesn't matter how long, when suddenly you're out of your funk. Maybe it doesn't matter what you're stressing out about. We've all got it. Some different than others, some more intense than others, but everybody's got some shit to deal with. So let's say you're really dealing with it. You're going through it right now. You've got additional undue stress in your life that maybe you didn't even deserve, but you got it. The last thing that you want to do is stop, is slow down with your training. Start eating like shit. Put on 10 pounds unrestricted eating with no training. I don't even want to think what I could do to my physique if I just started eating purely on instinct. Yeah, I think I'll have 4 bags of sweet tarts. I think I'll have another 10 sweet tart rope chews. Should I stop at 2 bags of Twizzlers, or should I have a third? Give me the third. That combined with no training and no cardio and no anything, oh my God, it'd be nuts. But that happens. I'll see guys where they basically say like, yeah, I had to take 2 months off the gym. I just wasn't feeling it. And well, fuck, now I'm really screwed. Because now, somehow, for some reason, hard to explain exactly, it's going to be lifter to lifter dependent. But maybe 2 months later, man, I was freaking out about that. Ugh, that's crazy. Sometimes you just snap back out of your funk. But now you just took 2 months off the gym, you let your diet go a little bit haywire, and well, shit, now you got some work to do. So what that tells me is if I am going through something, or I am just, something's on my fucking head, and I'm just, it's messing with you, keep up at least a baseline of your workouts and your cardio and everything. Obviously there's a dopamine release when you start grubbing on some good food. So, I can see the appeal, of course. It's not like I'm perfect with my diets. I have crazy cheat days within reason, of course. Obviously, if it was not within reason, then I wouldn't be able to get lean, and I would always have failed diets. So, there's room. There's a little room. You can grub, but if you really do that for too long, well, now you're back in a good headspace, but you're screwed temporarily. Of course, you just got to get back on your game. Whereas if you manage to keep yourself on course, at least decently on course, then by the time you snap out of your funk, well, hey man, at least I'm in the same spot I was 2 months ago. I'm not any further back or worse. Nice. So that's I get how that's tricky, because obviously if you're not feeling it, you're not going to want to do it. That's true with everything. It's and at the end of the day, the gym is very independently motivated. All the energy and the discipline to keep going, it's only coming from here. There's no rules. There's no basic fitness test for life. You can eat as much shit and stay at home all day and drink regular full sugar Mountain Dews as much as you want. Nobody's going to stop you. So it's all got to come from within. But I don't know how we got to this point specifically, but if that's you and you can tell you're starting to feel like you're in a rut, or maybe historically you've hit a rut before and it's really thrown you off course, dude, try to thug it out. Try your best to just keep moving, keep going. Even if it feels like you're just going through the motions, at least you're going through them. It is going to be far worse for you in the long run to say, hey, I'm not feeling it, I'm not doing it. I'm not feeling it, I'm not doing it. Yeah, not good, right? I saw a guy make a little post that I really liked. He had like 4 really good quotes in there, and he said this, which I really took to heart. He goes, a workout done when you didn't feel like it is worth 2. And I agree with that shit. I'd say a cardio session done when you didn't feel like it is probably worth 3, even better, So try to think about it like that. Sometimes I'll say this, and I can see how this doesn't make a lot of sense, but you want to be the guy who can take any external circumstance and somehow spin it up to you saying, yeah, let's get real. Like, just spin, no matter what the hell is going on, into energy for the gym. Whether it's negative, positive, whatever. Man, the weather sucks today. Well, fuck, man. We're going to have an electric lift because of all the fucking lightning outside. Boom. Hype. Man, the weather is so nice today. I am feeling so good and energized and fresh. Let's get it. Boom. Hype. Like little things like that. And I know that sounds a little stupid, but it's all, where your mind leads, the body follows. So if you can start from at least a little bit of a let's get it mentality, well, I'd say you've got a high probability of getting some let's get it results. So the spoken word is very powerful, and the thought word, just bear with me here, it's pretty similar. So if you've got negative self-talk all the time, odds are you're going to have negative self-action, and you're not going to want to bring it. But if you're your own biggest hype man on the inside, well, hell, you're never going to have a workout alone, because you've always got somebody in your corner, even if it's just you. Right? So I'd say right now we're in a pretty good time. The weather's nice. Everybody's kind of chilling. School hasn't started yet for anybody still in school. Honestly, end of summer, even for a lot of regular kind of jobs, it's kind of a chill phase. Things get serious in Q1 and Q4. End of the summertime, even though obviously stuff is still just your regular 5-day a week, whatever, I think it still ends up being a little more chill. But yeah, right now we're in a good era, or we're in a good phase of the year. I don't think anybody's complaining about early August. But going forward, September, November, October, I know it's out of order, whatever, things are going to get a little more negative. It always happens, that winter arc motivation. and just don't get yourself in a rut. So if there's one person that heard me say this and said, fuck, I'm feeling exactly what Sam just said that one time, man, I better keep moving. I'm going to regret it if I don't. That's all I want. That would, even me just thinking that that's a possibility is making me excited, So if we can boil that all down, try to stay locked in no matter what. Let's just put it simple. So I'm going to put some more gas in the guzzler, get some kind of drink from this gas station, get home, and I might be able to go out in the sun today because it's a little bit bright. I want some of that UV. So I'll see you tomorrow.